Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Mythgard in Middle-earth. My name is Corey Olson, the Tolkien Professor, joined as always by my friend Gryfflet, who's here mingling in the Mead Hall with the folks who, although they're being sort of socially distanced at these different independent and quite chilly stations in the Underharrow Mead Hall, as he was observing last time, at least they are appreciatively eating the food that Gryfflet helped provide. And I think all the more cheerfully because Ellen Fremedon is still outside. And that's also why Gryfflet wanted to be in here, because although it's cold, it's now less cheerless, and it is also where Ellen Fremedon is not, because Gryfflet is not a fan. But anyway, good to be back with you guys again here today. Sorry, trying to make sure my windows are all set up properly here. Okay, all right, I think we're good. And here I am, just wantonly and casually right-clicking on doors, which it's still going to take me a while to get used to that again. Anyway, but I suppose we now have to talk to Ellen Fremedon because I have all of the quests to turn into Ellen Fremedon here. I got orc sigils and warg teeth. I got I assembled scare orcs, and I scanned the roads, including the mountain trail to the Hornburg, which I really want to go on. But I came back because I am a completionist. So let's see. First, the scare orcs, Ellen.
There is work to be done here.
Okay. Well done. Oh, thank you, Ellen Fremedon. These new defenses are truly a boon to my people, or they would be if they were not made of sacks. Well, you told me to make them as crudely as possible. All of these people, all of this weaponry, and none of them to use the other. The weapons aren't going to use the people either? What is this world coming to? How am I to protect this lot? I don't even know where to start with you, Ellen. Okay. You still fear orcs lurk above in the mountains? I'm glad our path to Underharrow is clear, at least for the moment. Yeah, it's also, like, right there. Okay.
What are these? What have you brought me? Are these teeth?
Oh, yeah. They're teeth. Her expression changes from disgust to admiration as you recount your battle against the orcs and wargs in Harrowdale. I did not ask you to do this. I offered no reward, and yet still you campaigned against the creatures on my behalf. Let's go with that, Ellen. I do not know what to say. After my husband Donharra rode to fight alongside his king, I believe no one would give a thought to the troubles of Harrowdale. You know who else gave troubles to the Harrowdale, Ellen Fremedon? Éowyn. That's why she sent me here. And yet you did. Thank you, Gryfflet. I hope you did not take offense earlier. Kinda did. Not on my own behalf. I mean, you were tolerably rude to me, Ellen Fremedon, but it is Éowyn that you have been dissing as hard as you possibly could. I spoke from a place of despair, but you have given me reason to hope. Okay. See, I don't... Maybe it's just that your despair didn't sound like Éowyn's despair, Ellen, but if there are more burglars like you in this land, perhaps Harrowdale will be... See, I think she's still missing the point here. Still missing the point. Okay, go back to Horn. All right, I'll do that. But oh, she's got more. Here, I thought we were done or close to it.
There is work to be done here.
Okay, the time is drawing near at last. Éowyn and the rest of Kingstead will journey here and then continue onward to Dunharrow. There they will take shelter on the Firianfeld and wait until the king returns, or so I have been told. The field is wide, but offers little shelter of its own. For that reason, I would ask that you gather all tent sheets and posts we have here and in Upbourne to the north. If you were to... Would they have things in Upbourne other than random milestones that you don't need? I should have saved my milestone. I could have saved seconds. If you return them to me, I will consider my people prepared for the journey ahead. Okay. And
If you will help us, then do so.
do not mistake my rudeness as ill will for my kinsmen. This is merely a frustrating situation thrust upon all of us by Éowyn. No, see, like, look, hang on, Ellen. There it is, right? Ill will towards your kinsmen Éowyn, that's the problem. Whom I am loath to admit does have the best interests of the people in her heart. Oh wow, that is a big admission on your part. Big admission. Okay. These orcs concern me greatly. They have spooked the young and the old, and those unfamiliar with the look of an orc, but they fool me not. Whether they fashion themselves after the dead men of old or not, they still pose a serious threat to my people. You are one of few people here that can stand against the enemy's might, and I would ask that you find and explore where they scurry away to when light floods the Harrowdale. All right. Okay. Oh, a crate of tent sheets. How convenient. Sorry, the task chest was glittering over there, and I mistook the one for the other for a moment, but now I figured out what it was. Okay. All right, so Gryfflet, he's going to run around, and he's going to find an orc cave. That's great. Hey, guys, y'all have any tent sheets up here? Somehow I knew you would. There's Lounging Lady. Okay. Lounging Lady and wall propping dude. Oh, look, there's stakes over here, too. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, JJ has an author question. I noticed while reading H.P. Lovecraft that he seems to portray cats rather positively, while Tolkien tends to portray them negatively. Do you think the two authors' differing worldviews caused their differing views of cats? Or did their differing views of cats lead to their differing worldviews? oh, certainly the latter. I think I've long thought that the chief difference between H.P. Lovecraft and J.R.R. Tolkien was their differing views of cats, which really leads to, you know, every other difference being but a subsidiary of that difference. So first of all, JJ, I will freely I don't know Lovecraft that well. I've read some of Lovecraft, but not much. But I'm excited that you mentioned this, actually, because it's my newest project. I have actually just recently, like a week ago, embarked on a sort of slow and gradual, but steady read through of the entire H.P. Lovecraft corpus. I just got the unabridged like 55-hour complete works of H.P. Lovecraft audiobook, which is fantastic, by the way. Love the reading by the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society folks, Historical Literary Society. I don't know, I forget exactly what they call themselves, but they're awesome. Anyway, so it's I've been really enjoying it so far. I just read The Mountains of Madness. I just finished The Mountains of Madness, which I'd never read before, which was really interesting because, of course, The Mountains of Madness, which I understand to be a sort of a later... oh, okay. I'm still missing, apparently. Oh, that's right. I've got to go to Upborn, too. So I was going to go and see if what's his name, Oddjob, over there across the river has any of the tent materials, but apparently he does not. And they're all over here, so I'm gonna come back here for a minute. Oh, JJ, that's what you're listening to? Yeah, cool. It's a really good recording. I'm really very pleased with that. So yeah, so I'm reading my way steadily through that. I'm probably not going to do much more than like a story a day, basically, but I'm planning to do a story a day, or a couple if they're short. I'm gonna see if there's anything in the Mead Hall here. For, I don't know what, maybe a year or something, however long it's going to take me to do that, probably more than a year. Well, probably not more than a year. But anyway, so yeah, I'm excited about that. So I will be able to compare and contrast Tolkien and Lovecraft more intelligently soon. Oh yeah, Matthias, I get it. Every time you've read Lovecraft, you get horrible nightmares. Yeah. That's uh, understandable. Totally understandable. No tent materials in here. Oh, okay, hang on. I see a steak over here. But yeah, I don't know. I listened to him fairly early in the day, so maybe that's why it doesn't bother me as much. But yeah, so it's pretty exciting. So as for their view of cats, I have not really yet gotten to any cat references. And the only thing actually that jumps out at me, JJ, after reading The Mountains of Madness, is that he does seem to depict dogs in a fairly favorable light as well. Considering, I just, how like the dogs, well, not necessarily favorable, but at least like, the way that the dogs were freaking out in the presence of the old ones suggested that at least they had a good deal more sense than the humans, but that was not necessarily a high bar in that story. But anyway, Tomas, I do think that Lovecraft is worth it. I mean, I have too much respect for people who really admire and respect Lovecraft, not to respect Lovecraft myself. I don't love Lovecraft. It's not, Lovecraft is never going to be one of my favorite authors. I don't think. I would be very surprised if that happened. But I do think that he is a very interesting author, and I certainly think he is a very important author from the perspective of the history of fantasy and science fiction. So, I mean, like, what has driven me to, as happens so often. I mean, this is often what I find, occurring, is that I've just reached a tipping point where I'm tired of not understanding Lovecraft references, and so I'm like, that's it. I'm going to just read all of Lovecraft so that I finally understand. It's like what finally drove me to watch Doctor Who, which of course I'm really glad I did. But anyway, so anyway, yeah. So JJ, I will wait and see on the view of cats. I would not say that Tolkien is an obvious cat hater, even though cats are often villainous and associated with villains. But he's clearly a dog person. I mean, there is no cat equivalent to Huon, and like the Huon in Tevildo is, it's just very revealing right there, because Huon and Tevildo, of course. So as many, I know JJ knows this because he's been doing the Mythgard Academy classes with me. But those of you who don't know the Book of Lost Tales, the Book of Lost Tales, of course, the first two volumes of the history of Middle-earth, Tolkien's very earliest versions of the stories, from the Legendarium, and in that, in the earliest version of, my goodness, I have to go all the way up. Okay. Anyway, in the earliest version of the tale of Tinuviel, the Beren and Luthien story, this Huon the Hound, the original version of Huon the Hound is primarily it is a myth of dogs and cats. Tolkien was fond in those older days. He was fond of doing what I call myths of explanation, right? A mythic story that explains how, how the moon got its spots, all like how did the rainbow come to be? Why is there a rainbow in the sky? Those kinds of things, like explaining natural phenomena or like, modern demonstrable phenomena. Like, for instance, like, why does Ireland exist? Like, that's another one. So that kind of myth, the myth which explains a currently observable phenomenon, he doesn't. The published Silmarillion does not contain very many of those kinds of myths. Did this Pukul man sink all the way into the ground? It looks like this is statue quicksand, and he's almost engulfed, and he's like desperately trying to keep his head above the ground. Boy, that's really sobering there. Anyway, so the story of Huan, the Hound, which of course sticks into the Silmarillion, was brought in chiefly for his counterpart, Tevildo the Cat, Tevildo the Prince of Cats. So you had Huan the Noble Hound and Tevildo the Prince of Cats, and the two of them were the archetypal cat and dog story, and they were the origin story. They were the myth of explanation. They were the story of Huan and Tevildo was, meant to explain why do dogs and cats not get along? Like, why are dogs and cats always, fighting with each other? Answer, it all goes back to Huan and Tevildo. And so in describing, in sort of approaching that, fundamental and iconic question, he was very clearly on the side of the dogs. Like, there is no question who are the good guys and who are the bad guys at all in that story. So that is certainly the place where it is most obvious the fact that Tolkien is a dog person. And you can see Farmer Maggot and his dogs weren't so positively portrayed in the early drafts. Sort of. I mean, you're right, but it's not like the dogs were vicious. Like, Farmer Maggot was a little meaner, and so would tend to, like, sick his dogs on people a little bit more wantonly. But it still didn't strike me as an anti-dog statement. There are very few places in Tolkien's world where, of course, like, we should be honest about the fact that there aren't actually that many dogs or cats in Tolkien's world. Like, there's not a whole large quantity of them. But when they are depicted, they are certainly depicted. Dogs are almost always depicted positively, and cats are often sketchy. It's true. Yeah, you're right, JJ. I do think that you can see a similar thing in C.S. Lewis. Certainly Ginger the cat, from the last battle. And there's like no dog equivalent. Again, the wolves, as you say. But, this guy's double sculling it. So he's got two skulls, each of which has like a little soul patch, right? Okay, I like it. I like how the two, like, the alternate eyes are like, it's like a goth cyberpunk mask, right? That is really fun. I think this orc has a great sense of humor. He doesn't look happy. In fact, he looks kind of asthmatic. I'm a little concerned about his respiratory system. But I guess I'm not preparing to really help him with that. I've discovered an expansive cave teeming with orcs under the White Mountains. Their numbers are great, and should they remain unchecked, the orcs could easily overwhelm the defenseless at Underharrow. For the safety of Harrowdale and Aedoras itself, the orcs must be defeated. Okay. So, quest. Kill them all. Okay, so I'm looking at the Skull Tower here, because this is interesting. Of course, we've often seen, decorating with bones is like orc chic, right? So that's been common ever since there have been orcs in Lotro. But this particular little skull totem is odd. The way that the bones are organized around... And the hanging skulls? And the skulls on the ends of other bones. I'm not sure what to do with it. The fact that these are arranged like this on a pole which has like votary candles, and I like the little skull torch, down at the bottom. I think that's a horse skull on top, Edith. That's at least my best theory. I don't know what other beast that would be. I think it's a horse skull. And I don't know. I mean, are these the skulls of children? Because human children? I mean, they look like human skulls, but they do look a little small. I don't know for sure. It could be a crocodile, I suppose. Yeah. Well, we'll have to look around and see if they do other... Because I don't think this is decoration. I don't think it's decoration. These seem to be... These kinds of things appear to be sort of quasi... I don't want to say religious, because I'm not sure that's quite right. But, again, more like totems than like decor. Okay. Are we... Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so this guy's going for the one beard look. Now, I'm interested to see that the beard business seems to be not just an individual and idiosyncratic, personal decorating choice, but it's on the banner, right? Bearded skull. This is the Bearded Skull Clan, right? With the spikes, too. I hadn't noticed the spikes. Are those just meant to be bones? Like the bones that they, paint or tattoo on themselves? So like the radiating bones that make the skull look like a sunburst? And the beard makes him kind of look like he's breathing fire? A little bit intimidating. I think that's really interesting. Yeah, JJ, the 5 spikes do make it look a little Angmar-esque. Okay, I think that's just a hole. I was trying, what is that icon down in the corner? No, it's just a hole in the fabric. Okay, but now here, look at this. We've got an Orcs skull. First of all, where did they get that from? I guess there are some Orcs like that. Not too far away, but... Yeah, see, this looks... Tomas, I agree that's a good word. This looks ritualistic as well. It's the candles. It's the candles that make it look ritual. Well, no, and the arrangement. This is not just like the way that the goblins or the orcs in the south. Like, I remember I first observed this anyway on stream, around like Fornost and stuff, where they just put or hang skulls from, posts and beams just as like decoration. Uh-oh. Screams of Rohirrim. That's not good. Screams echo through the air in Gur Shapol, hinting that the Rashat High have captured Rohirrim and inflict grievous torture on them even now. Let's find and rescue these unfortunate people. Totally agree. But as I say, this does not look to me like decoration. And see, this just looks like a heap. Though where are the other bones that went with these skulls? I also can't help but notice the swarms of flies. I don't think I've ever noticed swarms of flies around corpses before. Crude banners wave in the dank air of Gour's Chapole. I noticed grim standards. I did notice those, depicting crude skulls and what appears to be a rendition of the dead men of Unharrow. Well, I think they're depicting themselves. Well, that's an interesting question. We'll talk about that in a second. Even if their adornments are only meant to spook the young and old of Underharrow as they further their plans, I doubt it. These orcs must never be allowed to fly their banners in the king's lands. Got it. I'm tracking with you. I'll burn the banners. See, I am not sure I can agree with the quest text here. Oh, see, now this guy has the spikes. Oh, and an inverted one. Oh, look, his skulls are mouth to mouth. That's really interesting. And he's got the radiating spikes. So this is a defiler. All right, the defilers have the radiating spikes like the banner. But no beards. Just a second skull. Huh. Really interesting. And he didn't paint any bones behind. Oh, yeah? There we go. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. Now, I disbelieve that. I disbelieve that... I disbelieve that the orcs are merely attempting to frighten the young and old. I mean, I know that they've had that effect, but I don't think... This is not costuming, okay? That seems pretty clear from looking around at this. You know, this is not a group of orcs who like, we have a cunning plan, and our cunning plan calls upon us to disguise ourselves cunningly as the dead, because, you know, these Rohirrim are really scared of those, and so then they'll be scared of us, and won't that be effective? Like, that's not what I'm seeing here in their hideout anyway. What I'm seeing in their hideout are orcs who seem themselves to revere the dead, which seems to me, and therefore to emulate the dead. And that seems to me actually, anyway, to make a very great deal more sense. What I can't help but remember is the comment of Gimli, I think, right, when he's talking about when he and Legolas are explaining about the... I can't burn this one? Huh. When he and Legolas are explaining about the... you know, the march of Aragorn and the taking of the paths of the dead, and it's Gimli, I'm almost positive, who marvels that by the enemy, you know, like by the enemy's own weapons was he worsted, right? And the sympathy doesn't seem quite a full enough expression of what I'm trying to say, but let's go with that at first. The sympathy between the orcs and the dead, that there is, that they would respond to them with something like reverence, that they would acknowledge that their power is something, is that there would be some like a resonance, right, between the orcs and the dead, is I think what I'm getting at. Seems to me to make a lot of sense. In other words, what I'm seeing here and what I'm seeing here is really interesting. I'm trying to figure out these three spikes, this framework, right? Because we see it on both sides. It's symmetrical. There's another one over there. This spiky framework, it's like, you know, suggestive of the radiant bony spikes on the bearded skull on their banner, but it's framing the Aurochs' skulls here. And see, this looks almost sacrificial. Yeah, look at it's money. There's a goat and a sheep. Excuse me. A goat and a sheep and money laid here. This looks like an offering. An offering of treasure and an offering of meat. So again, like that, if all I saw were this light fixture with skulls with, and you know, skulls with candles on, right? I wouldn't think anything of it. I mean, that's the kind of thing, like the kind of standard use of, you know, bones in decorations and fixtures that we've seen for a long time. But it's right over this altar, right? This flat stone clearly being used as an altar, framed with stones and more of those votive candles, and then obvious sacrifices on the altar, with the evidence of the recent sacrifice and the blood on the floor there. So this does seem to be ritualistic, even religious, on the part of the orcs. Are they making sacrifices to the dead? They would be afraid of the dead. I'm sure the orcs would be afraid of the dead. I mean, I don't think they would respond to them exactly, you know, like the humans do. But they would certainly fear the dead. But their response is reverence, which makes sense, and the desire to propitiate them, apparently. So the question: why would orcs what would they use money for? I don't know, but we have I don't know. I couldn't tell you exactly how and where an orc spends his ill-gotten gains, but that they like ill-gotten gains. Interesting. Amid the dim glow of Gurish Uphold, you have discovered blooms of Athalas bursting from the earth near the orcs' filth and destruction. The healing plant has gone unnoticed by the untrained eyes of the orcs, but through your dealings with the rangers, you are well acquainted with its appearance. You should gather as much as possible before returning to the Rohirrim, for they will have great use of it in the coming days of war. Well, that's cool. I like that. Athalas growing in death's shadow. Among the filth of the orcs, yet Athalas thrives. That's fun. Good grief, there's a lot of mobs through here. Good thing Gryfflet is so stealthy. But anyway, as I was saying, we know that they do like, lots of loot, nice and handy, because that's what Shagrat and Gorbag say. So, anyway, okay. Man. Okay. Bunches of orcs. Except I've hit a wall, so maybe not so much right here. Boy, I've got a lot of things to do here. Okay, see, now here we have a pelvis fire. Also very standard. Though the fire in the flaming Auroch skull, that is something else right there. Oh, man. No, see, you were right the first time, Phil. This is a pubic dungeon, right? I mean, we've just proven that here, right? At least this area is the pubic area, apparently. Yeah, no worries. Do the number of skulls depict rank, do I suppose? Well, the Defilers seem to have the radiant skulls. And I'm not sure about the... I wish that picking things up didn't break stealth. I wish that very much. I mean, they do seem to be differentiated by, their different kind of callings, I guess. Okay. So I need to find the leader. I need to still kill a bunch more of them. I still need to burn more banners, and I haven't rescued a single captive yet. So That's me with my work still cut out for me. Okay. I am really interested in the fact that Gryfflet appears to be failing his stealth checks so regularly. He is 4 levels and about to be 5 levels above the orcs in this area. And yet, he's having a harder time than I would have expected. Okay. the torture table, you know, at the bottom of the radiant beam that shines down from above is yeah. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know why they keep detecting me. Oh, that's why I'm not seeing anybody on screen, because there's we have a 3-dimensional issue on my mini map again. Okay, all right, so we gotta wind around this way. No, this is where I came from. Wait a second. Is there a way down that I didn't notice? It being so dark in here? Yes, there is. Okay. So one other thing that I'm thinking I should do after this is I think it's time to upgrade my gear. I'm still wearing my battle gear. Is still the like riddle gear. You know, the what is it called? The jacket, the Shadow Walker stuff. Not the riddle gear, the Shadow Walker gear that I got in the what do you call it? In the skirmish camp outside of Snowbourne, I believe. And I think I can upgrade that. I think I need to upgrade my gear. It's been too long since I upgraded my gear. My weapons I've upgraded. So my legendaries are more or less current. But I still need to upgrade my armor. What level? Well, 91, about to be 92 here. Yeah, exactly. Low 90s still. So yeah, maybe I'll do that after I finish Underharrow here, before I head off towards... Of course, I don't know exactly. Are they going to give me more Dunharrow quests? The, you know, phasing in Dunharrow seems to me to suggest no, because it's phased for after Helm's Deep. So I'm imagining that I'm not going to be sent for a whole... I mean, I'm doing this one, of course, but... Okay, anyway, the Orcs of the White Mountains have long harried the Rohirrim, and through your efforts you have protected Underharrow and Aedoros from their impending assaults. Great! Woohoo! And there we are! Hey, are the falling leaves new? Or am I just zoomed in closer than I usually am? They are new? Yeah, that was fun. I like that. I like that. Okay. All right. Well, there we are. Level 92. Okay, so what do I have left? Just the Rohirrim. And I don't need to kill anybody anymore. Boy, Gryfflet is at 65 orcs. When Gryfflet is like getting close to completing a Slayer deed, like, there's something wrong. Okay, so I just need the Athelas and the banners, 2 more banners, and the captives. I'm apparently like right next to a captive. But at least now I can try to stealth my way past as many of the orcs as possible. Alright, I guess I gotta kill this guy. But yeah, hopefully maybe that level increase will improve Gryfflet's stealth performance. Hey there, dude. You're free. You're not going to die here. I'm so glad you can find your way out on your own. Okay. Awesome. Well, it could be worse. That is, this cave complex could be even larger than it is. I don't see any flammable banners around here for a while. Okay, but anyway, as I continue, let me do another lore question. Okay. Hang on a second. I gotta scroll over here. Okay, right. Apukshik has a question. Okay, I went and bought the films on Amazon, and the scene with Aragorn and Boromir in Rivendell. I thought it was the height of irony. Boromir is pleading for hope while he sits next to a man named Estel. But my question is, why didn't Aragorn tell Boromir he was Thorongil? Yeah, pretty sure he isn't. I mean, in the movies. The Thorongil thing. So there is some evidence, I think, some evidence that they did intend film Aragorn to be Thorongil. In particular, I'm thinking about but I mean, it's pretty indirect. Like, remember the conversation between film Aragorn and film Boromir? Oops. Didn't see around the corner there. When, the whole, like, have you ever, like, been welcomed back to the city with the blow of silver trumpets and that kind of thing? And Aragorn says, I have seen the White City, right? And it seems even to imply that, yes, like, he's gotten the silver trumpet treatment before. That scene, at the very least, is consistent with the Thorongil backstory, right? And JJ, I can't remember off the top of my head if he mentioned that he had ridden with the Rohirrim before. Yeah, I don't recall, but it's been a little while since I've seen the films. So it's possible. But I don't take even if that latter reference does in fact exist, I don't take that as I don't take either one of those scenes as a clear reference to the fact that the whole Thorongil story is understood to be in the background of film Aragorn's story. And I don't know whether or not they were intending to excise it. Okay, he does mention it, Tomas. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know whether or not they are intending to cut it, or whether it was just like, they don't have time, so they kind of implied it, but don't have time. Did that guy just talk about Saruman? Anyway, yeah. Okay. So yeah, like it's hard to say if the absence of any reference to that is just like they didn't have time to give that whole backstory, so they only just distantly implied it, or whether they actually were planning to cut it, because of course the Thorongil story is not massively consistent, you know, with the whole reluctant Aragorn story that, you know, they attempted to create there in the movie. So hard for me to say, you know, which is which as far as that goes. But as I say, there's no direct evidence that he did the Thorongil story. Exactly. Oh, finally, another flammable banner. Okay, all right, so thank you guys for letting me know here. So Madman Monower says, I'm kind of betwixt and between right now. There's some pretty good stuff available when I reach level 95. The Fangorn stuff, which was endgame for a good chunk before they finally opened Gondor. Right. There's... Right, and then Hologro adds the usual problem when you're in the middle of a region where the level cap went up by 10. Right, yeah, I know that makes sense. Okay, so I should just add... Maybe what I should do... So I have cosmetically equipped all of this reinforced Code of Kingstead stuff. Maybe I should just equip it all. Might be better off with it. See, but it's pretty marginal, especially with the set bonus. I mean, the armor's a little bit better. The agility bonus is worse. Yeah. No, I'm not loving it as a contrast there. Yeah. Not convinced it's a whole lot better. Anyway. Okay. Okay, well, first we'll pick the Athelos, and then we'll burn the banner. Ha! I collected the banner before you saw me anyway. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Apologize, Gryfflet. You're doing a good job. Just had to click over there. It's, you know, I got to monitor the chat at the same time too here, Gryfflet. So, Nope. Oh, we've advanced the Athelos quest. Excellent. Good, good. And here comes the banner quest. All right. Good. Making excellent progress here, Gryfflet. Very good. By the way, did I see correctly? Can I... Hey! Warsteed level cap! How about that? Carrion is a maximally awesome horse. Oh, and tragically, cannot trait... Shields will be splintered. And what, I guess... Oh, it won't receive any more trait points, right? He's done? Will he get any more trade points? Should I just take like the one I can take, or should I keep saving up? You know, that's a really interesting observation, JJ. You know, JJ says, I find that I dislike the movie depiction of Aragorn, and yet I find that I still find Viggo Mortensen to fit the character quite well. Viggo Mortensen did a great job. I mean, like, it's hard to, you know, I find it anyway, hard to complain about Viggo Mortensen. But I don't know. I kind of wonder, well, this might not be fair. It might not be fair to... Okay, no, wait. I don't need to... Okay. This is confusing enough. I'm headed over. Gosh. Let me go back up here. I think I want to go out this way and continue heading north. Can I do that? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I wonder. I was about to say something like slightly irresponsible, which is that it kind of seemed to me a little bit like Viggo Mortensen almost. I sometimes get the impression that what he does with the character of Aragorn isn't 100% in sympathy with the way that they wrote the character. But, you know, I don't want to be like, Viggo Mortensen is awesome and aha, I found him. Just like blame Jackson and Boyens and praise Mortensen. That doesn't seem quite fair. But anyway. Okay. Oh, no, sorry. I thought this was the... I still have more captives to rescue. I forgot about that one. Okay. Deep in Gur-Shapol, you have encountered the mighty orc leader Guja. I haven't, but I must have seen him from a distance. It is unknowable how many have fallen to his blade or to his ilk. But I've defeated a bunch of his ilk, so he must be defeated if the people of Rohan to reach Underharrow in safety. All right, no worries. I was gonna do that. I already had a quest for that, but that's okay. Master of the Dead Folk, great. Okay, so is he up here? Is this him up here? I'm in combat? Who's fighting me? Oh, come on. Yeah. You come up here. Oh, would you please? You can't. Yeah. Seriously? It doesn't matter what I stand behind? I'm not coming down there. Thank you. Good. I'm glad we came to an agreement. Because I am not going down there because I don't think I need to go down there. And the big boss is up here. I think he's up the ramp there. Hey there, I wish I could rescue you twice and therefore get credit for that. I do have a stealth skill automatically in combat, but I don't want to use it just now in case I need it. Okay, let me have a little bit more lembas and maybe some turnip casserole, which frankly sounds disgusting. Maybe a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, so the real guys, when you're a leader, you wear skull kneecaps, huh? Oh, yeah, you got, I mean, he looks like he's, maybe been doing some flooring work. The shoulders thing isn't working for me, Guja. I mean, the knees, that's kind of fun, right? That's kind of cool. Is his body painted? And does he have little tufts of hair sticking out? Where is your beard on your skull? Yeah. That's And like a wrist thing? Well, I just don't know about that, Guja. And you're like your leather straps are showing, you know? I don't know, that tufty thing around your face? I think it makes you look like a little flower. Is that what you're going for? Like I'm a little sunflower with a skull face? I wouldn't have thought so. His vile leadership has been put to an end. Okay. I am so glad. Is there any loot nice and handy? Speaking of loot. Okay, so all I need now is just to find one more captive. Yeah, I think... Didn't it look like he kind of... I mean, he painted. He was a cosmetically white, pale orc, wasn't he? I mean, he was... You know... He used makeup, didn't he? Like they do skulls, right? Okay, so I just need now... one more Rohirric captive, whom I'm hoping is down in this direction. Just from looking at the map. Okay. Okay, but of course it's not as simple as just walking across the room. I've got to get upstairs somehow. Oh, there it is. Right. Okay, I remember this. All right, there's the flaming Aurochs skull, which is really cool. There's where I found my first Athelos. Okay. And now I'm working my way back to cave number 1 and hoping that in one or more of the other exits from... Oh, see, look at that. Okay. An orc defiler caught in the act of a religious ceremony around the sacrificial altar. See? Actually praying. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. QED. QED. No, hang on. Been to that room. Don't need to go back. Anyway, so so thinking back again to the orcs and the dead there. Here he is. There he is, my last Rohirric captive. So I think it's clear. They came here, they sensed the presence of the dead, and they revered the dead. They both feared and, feared and... Whoa. Okay. Yeah, you get out of here any way you can, lady. All right, excellent. Spared them a horrific fate indeed. Okay. And I'm going to cheat. And teleport myself straight back into Ellen Fremedon's personal space. Okay. But anyway, yeah. So they're not just disguising themselves. They are obviously have built a cult of the dead, and their decoration of themselves suggested it from the very beginning that they were in emulation of the dead, honest, as it were, emulation of the dead, and not mere disguise. Yeah. Okay. Éowyn has many more supplies than Edoras, but until we know how many people we must shelter, it is best to have as many tents as possible for the coming journey. You can... almost see it from here, Ellen.
If you will help us, then do so.
I fought an entire cave of orcs. Yeah. Yeah. Wasn't anything. I would think you mad if... Nay, I do not think you mad. Still, you have done much to protect my people, and for that I am truly grateful. Perhaps with them slain, I can begin to believe their disguise. Oh, what, that they're dead? What? I don't understand you.
There is work to be done here.
We are as ready as we shall ever be. If Éowyn and the rest of Kingstead stand ready, we can begin moving to Dunharrow at her command. I know not if more matters demand her attention first, but Underharrow is prepared. I must tend to the people here, but I would ask you to return to Edoras, inform Éowyn that her people stand ready and waiting for the journey ahead. All right. Okay, and I won't tell her how rude you were. Very good. We are done with Underharrow. And I'm going to talk to Horn and see where the epic quest is going to vector me next. And then I'll go back to Éowyn.
We have delivered the message.
Horn listens with amusement.
Move on to the next stage of our duty.
Right. As you recount Ellen Fremedon's grateful acknowledgement of the help you provided to her people. Are you surprised by the Lady of Harrowdale's transformation? You should not be. There is no more certain way to attain the friendship of a ruler than by helping ease the problems of the ruled. We are, all of us, on the same side now. Only Saruman stands to profit if we squabble among ourselves. We have delivered the message, and we have somewhat eased its sting. It is time to move on to the next stage of our duty. Agreed. Ooh, Cloak of the Dead, huh? Okay. Oathbreaker's Cloak. That's the Might one. And the Rap of the Dark Door. Kind of like the sound of that, but let's consider the most important question. Which is, what do they look like? Hey, is it control left clicking? Shouldn't I be able to see? Isn't it control left click? No? It's not letting me... It's not letting me see which one looks like which? Am I forgetting the keyboard command there? Isn't it control click? I thought it was control click. Why is that not working? Yeah, control left click. I was sure of that. It's not... Is it behind the quest window? No? Huh. Darn it. Oh well, I just have to take a pig and a poke, I guess. We have done as Éowyn asked, and we should now fulfill our obligation to her brother as well. Éomer wished for us to travel to the home he left behind. Ah, finally. That we may see how it fares in his absence. That home is Aldburg in the Eastfold. It was once the seat of power in Rohan before the king took up residence in Edoras. Now it is the home of Éomer, and it is natural for his mind to dwell in its well-being. He spoke of Arkhill its steward as a man of good motive, but of short reach to accomplish such lofty aims. Perhaps when we arrive, we will see that Arkhill has exceeded his master's expectations. All right. But I have a question. Where are my boots? Is Éowyn going to give me my boots of Kingstead finally? We can only hope. All right, let's stable it. Oh, sorry. Now we can see it though, right? No, it's not even letting me do it from my inventory. Fine, we'll do it the laborious way. Okay, so let's see. Our equipment gear. And put it on. Wait, for real? It looks identical? It's the same. as the embroidered cloak of Kingstead. Cosmetically identical. That can't be. No way. Huh. Okay. All right. Why mess with perfection? I guess so.
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
All right, back to Aedoras. Back to Aedoras. Daddy wants a new pair of boots. Wow. I don't think I'm wearing Hütbold gear. No, I'm wearing that. Let's see. What is my gear here? Does it have a maximum level? I don't think it does. Yeah, it does. Maximum level 95. Okay, that's all right. I still got I still got some time on my gear. Okay. Great. All right. Let us high up to Mediceld here. There we go. All right. There's the fountain next to which Shadowfax used to be standing. Yep, I'll definitely put on the West Rohan gear when I get it. Like I said, the Kingstead stuff looks to me on the edge. Like it's not an obvious upgrade over my current gear, but it's close. So the next set I will probably not only equip cosmetically, because I always like to dress locally, you know, it's fun. But I'll probably equip it as well. All right. You remember a lot of complaints about the cosmetics being too similar when this region was new, Hologrow? Yeah. Well, that's a blemish. Admittedly, that's a blemish. Hi, Éowyn. Guess what, Éowyn? I dealt with Ellen Fremedon, so you don't have to. Aren't you grateful?
I need your help, my friend.
Ellen has made ready the preparations. Well, I made ready the preparations, but it's all good. Yeah, no, you haven't seen eye to eye. It's because you're so far above her, Éowyn. But surely we both see the importance of sheltering the people of Rohan from harm. When we have made ready, we can begin our journey to Underharrow. No boots? Okay.
I need your help, my friend.
Yes, there's the boots! Okay, the time has come, Gryfflet. Kingstead faces harsh times, and Underharrow remains the only place to keep my people from the White Hand and their savagery. Through our labors, the people of Kingstead stand ready to journey to Underharrow. We shall travel south through the Harrowdale and climb the stair of the hold to Underharrow. It is there we shall join my men at the camp they have prepared and wait for word from Theoden King. You have done well to prepare my people, and I am confident the path south will be free of danger through your efforts. When I am certain that my people and I are ready, we shall begin the journey. Okay. Oh, look at that. I get a class trait point too, huh? Prepare Éowyn and her people. Oh, I'm done? Because I did all the things already? What am I supposed to do here? You must complete the quests. Aedoras in need of cheering up. The Eyes of Aedoras. Oh. Oh. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I've got to go all the way to Aldburg first? I have to do the entire... Wait. Wait. Hang on. I've got to do the whole Eastfold? Before I get my boots? For real? Éowyn, that doesn't seem right. That just doesn't seem right, Éowyn. Oh, man. Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me. This little completionist just wants to finish his set. That's all. Is that so very much to ask? Oh, then I get to come back and have the most brutal mounted combat instance? Oh, boy. Well, thanks for the warning there. Okay, I don't see any quests in here. Okay, but I've got to get through Book 12, Chapter 6, so... and I didn't have another vector. Where's my Eastfold? There we go. Uh-huh. There it is. Look for danger along the road to Aldburg. Was pretty sure I had a vector quest there. All right. Come, carry on. Carry on. Now that I can right-click properly, it's much easier to steer you. So that's good. Uh-oh, jumping down to the roof of houses. Okay. This is still more or less the direction I wanted to go. Where's the gate? There's the gate. Okay. Houses in the way. Fields in the way. We are undeterred. Stone walls in the way. We can o'erleap them. That's right. Open the gate. Gryfflet comes forth. Past the one person in Aedoras who still wants to kill me. Okay. Better put on my hat. There we go. Oh, this is really a lovely area. So, see, look, there are, like, but that's not the dude whose skull was in that cave. It's not a normal aurochs. His horns are completely different. No, I think that was an imported aurochs. Oh, okay, I thought that was a carving, but see, no. This is really fascinating. I didn't notice this before. Do you see what this is? Look at the stonework. Look how old this looks. This looks like it might have once been an arch, perhaps? See the way this curves? Look at that, yeah. See? This was an archway. You know what this is? This is Dunlending stone. This is just like the stonework of the Dunlendings. And you can see it over here too. That's an old Dunlending wall. I never noticed that. So see, you can see the history of the land, right? Look, let's see. Right there, you can see the whole history of the land. Right? Rohan, Gondor, the Gondorian Tower coming in and out of view, and Dunlending. Yep. Yep. That is really interesting. Okay. Heading back towards Oldberg. Right, there's the field on the hill with the very, very busy people. And now we've got to go down past the corpses of, like, all the women and children of Entwade. Oh man, look at that tower up on the hill. Must have quite a view from there. Okay. Who's the road south here? I don't know, but I assume I'll get sent here in the fullness of time. Hey, wait, hang on a second. There's a skill you can set that automatically homes you on your target. When you trample with a heavy warhorse, it knocks anything not itself on a steed back. With those skills, you can chain a bunch of big attacks on those targets and kill most anything. Really? That's interesting. What skill is that? Oh, yes, here's the depressing thing. Oh, alas for the people of Entwade. Yeah, I don't have a heavy war steed. And here we are. Hang on. Map time. Oh, right. There's Aldburg, Fenmarch, Beacon Watch, and then on to the Beacon Hills. Oh, cool. Firian Wood, Calenhad, Minrimmen, Ostrimmen. Then on to Tower Druidon. Oh, man. Eilenach, Amondine, Nardal. Oh. Okay. Ooh, a Lothbear. Okay, yeah, no, don't worry. I'm not going to go to the the Beacon Hills yet. I am apparently nearing danger along the road to Aldburg. An overturned supply wagon lies next to the road. Assess the damage. My assessment is that that wagon is wrecked. But I could fix it. It's in much better shape than those wagons in Edoras, which I fixed single-handedly. The road from Edoras to Aldburg sees much traffic, which makes it an attractive place for orcs to attack. You should be wary. Okay, being wary means dismounting? Ah. Where? I don't see anybody rushing. You guys did not rush, really. You just kind of stood back and were annoying. I hate it when clicking on landscape objects initiates combat because then I can't stealth myself in between. Okay. No problem. Oh, man. What, am I not facing him enough? I hate it when that happens. Come on. I'm right there. Facing the both of them. And now I'm stealthing myself before the last two come. Oh, man, they saw me? It's gonna be tight. Yep. Hang on, hang on. I'm coming back. Keep getting that, like, directional orientation thing. Okay. What an annoying quest, and they're all archers too. Yeah, I'll just retreat. Let's retreat and heal up. I don't think it takes me that far away, does it? Nah. In fact, it takes me further down the road. I gotta backtrack. Yeah, also have to repair. Alright. Why wouldn't it let me stealth? That's really vexing. Alright. Alright, I'm pretty close. Are they still out, or do I have to get them out again? Hello? I think I've got to... Click on the supply wagon again. Yep, here they come. Nice. They couldn't see me on the other side of the wagon. Yeah, these guys are, like, reasonably tough. Okay. Orc attack has been quelled. It's only a matter of time before another one occurs. But I've made travel safer. Well, that's good. That's good. Okay. Oh, come on. No way, man. I already killed all y'all. I shall proceed towards the town. I'm done. Oh, no, wait. There's more? Additional danger? Yeah, and it's not them. So forget it. I'm going down. The additional danger is down here. Leave me alone. I'm gonna get a restraining order against that guy. I have no quest for you. Yeah, I'll get my gear repaired as soon as I get into Aldburg. Okay. He's leaving me alone now. Wenda Cranesbill? Who's Wenda Cranesbill? No idea what you're talking about, Druid's Fire. The VIP rewards vendor? Okay. Where's she? Oh, okay. Another overturned supply wagon. Dangers await. She's in the Rohan homesteads? Does she have anything good? All right. All right, at least I was able to stealth myself this time. All right, and at least these guys aren't archers. I seem to remember even Wiggand having an uncomfortable time with this quest set. What is up with you? You're doing the skull thing too? But without the beards. An unknown orc. What, am I supposed to recognize him by name? Oh, it's Charlie. Stealth. said stealth. Ha, it worked. Okay, I backed off enough. Now I'm going to heal. Now I'm going to stealth. Oh, I had a bleed. Say I didn't notice that. Okay. All right. What do you have on your thigh there? What? Oh, come on. Seriously? You're going to make me get out of stealth again? All right. Okay, no problem. Oh, yeah, you got nothing. What do you have? Nothing. And I'm running away. Run away, run away, hide by the Loth Bear. Okay, here comes some more, but I'm all healed now. And so here we go again. Last time pays for all. Okay. And whoosh. Now get out before the third ones come again. See, there they came. Got out in the nick of time. Okay, you've defeated the orc attack along the road to Aldburg. The likelihood of another occurring is high. Yeah, I'd say. Okay. And that's it? Oh, good. Okay. Look at that. Wow, like all of my stuff is damaged. Except my cloak. Alright, let's ride into Oldberg. Yeah, I like this wall. This stone wall here. You know, too low to inhibit anything, but high enough to trip over. Like, it's just a ginormous tripping hazard. Oh, look at that. Oh, the Gondorian ruins. Stop. Mm-hmm. So this was a Gondorian town. You can see from this arch that it was not really a fortification. And by that door, this was a pleasure house, I think. So I think that this was like one of those Gondorian retreats, which we've seen like in the Southern Hills in several places. Like, yeah, okay, that's a really helpful map for this instance. But like in East Rohan, remember we saw, like up in the hills here along the east wall. And then now here in West Rohan, down here in these hills. So yeah, like, I think so. I think so. Okay. The home of Éowyn. Hooray! I just blew past Horn. Sorry, Horn. That was rude.
We have arrived at Éomir's home of Oldberg. It looks... well...
What? Horn looks around and his normally diplomatic and open face is uncharacteristically clouded with disappointment. I've never been to Aldburg before, but it does not appear as I've always pictured it. The walls are crumbling and the buildings have fallen into disrepair. I do not think the town was in this state when Éomer left for Edoras. Let us walk through the city and see if my first impression is mistaken. Oh, man. Okay. Well, it doesn't look that bad. I always kind of liked Aldburg. Yeah, Wigan spent a deal of time here. I always found Aldburg to be one of the most convenient, you know, like crafting spots and everything. Spent a lot of time here. Not to mention a useful stable master. Good grief. Go all the way to South Bree. To Mordor. Not useful yet. Bunch of places I can't really get to. Throughout the Westham Net. Yeah, sure. To Dale? Dol Amroth? Oh, yeah. And let's milestone me. Certainly don't want to return to Underharrow. Okay. Just in case we need that one. Yep, Tomasa, Gondorian Summer Resort. That's just what I think this was. They probably had like an alpine sled trail, I'm thinking. We'll see if we can find the ruins of that. See, this is cute, Horn. What's wrong with you? Look at the little sunbursts on the beams. They've like stenciled the beams. I mean, come on. And look at the candles, right? Come on, it's cute. Yes, there's ivy. Yes, the wood looks a little old. But, you know. Boy, she is stirring that with some care, I should say. All right, hang on. I gotta fix my gear. It's bothering me. You're right. That dog is totally ready for her to ask for help with that bowl. All right, where's my where are my vendors at here? Yeah, I like the blue and white thing. It's fun. I mean, okay, yes, the ivy, sure, but okay. Well, we'll see if Gryfflet can help spruce up the place. This will be a fun set of quests. It's an urban renewal quest line. Okay, sure. All right, yeah, that's where we've got the Forge and Relic Master. Oh, building is in very poor repair. Tut tut. We do not approve. Apparently. Okay. It's the pub. Let's go into the pub. Let's see if I can get my armor fixed there. It's not some deadly mold, JJ. No way. Barkeep. Yeah. Hey, barkeep. Can you fix my boots?
Are you looking for something, friend?
You can. And my bauble and my jacket and all the things? Thank you. Now this guy is the picture of chill. Look at that. Is the posture of a man who is relaxing on his day off. Ah, and we have shield maidens here in Aldburg. Nice helmet, too. Love the horsehair plume there. Down the back. That's great. And the green armor? Liking the green armor. It's not mildew. It's nice. Don't worry, Gryfflet will get this place spruced up in no time. Okay, well, I think what better place to leave Gryfflet than the pub? It's just about time, and I gotta drive my kid places as usual. So thank you guys for hanging out with me today. One quick announcement I wanted to make. I wanted to let everybody know that registration is open for Mythmoot. Hoping to see a bunch of folks at Mythmoot again. We have our digital registration open, our Mootcast and Moot Hub options. Moot Hub is for folks who can be there all weekend and will be able to participate in our, our live like social gatherings and stuff to get sort of the full Moot experience. Mootcast is if you can't be there for the whole time, but you want to be able to drop in on some of the talks and you want to be able to get recordings, because if you sign up for Mootcast, you have access to the archived recordings of all the presentations, so you don't have to miss anything and you can watch them at your leisure later on. Now you get that with Moot Hub too, but you also get access to all the live synchronous stuff that's going on. So anyway, so that's good. So both of those are open, Mootcast and Moot Hub. We're still holding out the possibility. There is no hope that we might be able to add a hybrid element. Mythmoot, I should mention the dates, the 24th to the 27th of June. We're going to make a final determination on whether we're going to attempt to do a hybrid Moot experience this year. I am very much looking forward to returning to in-person Moot experiences, but that's unclear. So obviously, we will see. But in any case, we'll make that determination by the end of March, and certainly we're going to be doing the digital stuff in any case. And if we did do hybrid stuff, we would offer upgrades for folks. So go ahead and sign up for digital participation, and we'll see what happens if we can add anything to that. But at the very least, it is going to be a really fun digital Moot experience, just like last year, which was awesome. Mythmoot 7 was fantastic. I know many of you were able to join us, which was really cool. So anyway, thanks everybody, and I will see you guys next week. Bye now. Thanks for joining in on my rambles around Standing Stone's brilliant digital adaptation of Tolkien's world. If you enjoy these adventures, please consider supporting this and other entertaining educational programming by donating at signumuniversity.org/fund.